Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, August 5th. I wanted to share with you some of the thoughts and the discussion that's been taking place with the session, and then tonight with the worship committee. And this is in regards to returning to in-person worship. I know that some of you have been very eager to return to the church for in-person worship. And I know that some of you have decided you'll just wait till a later time. And in either case, we just wanted to let everyone know what is taking place so far in terms of planning for the future. Right now, the session is looking at a target month of October. We don't want to return to in-person worship on a communion Sunday, because we haven't worked out how we're going to do that safely yet. So that is not an option to begin right at the beginning of October. So it'll be sometime later in October that we will have everything worked out and be ready to invite everyone back who feels safe enough to return to in-person worship. And by that time, you will have heard all of the communication you need to hear. We will be doing things that you're already doing when you go to the grocery store, or when you're asked to social distance or wear masks in places that are out in the public. It will be the same in church. We will be singing most likely with masks on. So we're looking at that. We know that there have been other churches that have been meeting, and we know of one Presbyterian church, a small one, that has returned to worship, and they sing with masks on, and their preacher preached with a mask on. We're not sure yet exactly how that's going to work out here at GPC. I'm just conveying to you what we have heard reported from another Presbyterian congregation. But as we look forward to sometime in October, I wanted you to be aware that that's a target month, subject to change. You know, if something changes very radically in what happens with COVID-19, we may need to make a change. And so I just want you to be aware of that caveat. And I thank you for your patience, those of you that are eager to return. And I appreciate all of the volunteers who have helped with being liturgists on Sunday mornings, and all of the volunteers who have been soloists and sung duets for us in worship, and musicians that have played for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your gifts with us in that way. So we will go together one step at a time. You'll be hearing more as the plans are made and details are worked out. So please stay tuned to the weekly e-blasts, and hopefully your deacons will have more information. Deacons are meeting next week, so I will be meeting with them as well, and hearing from them about their thoughts and conveying to them some of the thinking of the session, and counting on them and their leadership to help spread the word or to find out how you're feeling. And so we're going to work together in communicating with each other and letting each other know what's happening, what's taking place. So I give you that much information because that's all I know right now. But be assured that the plans will be developing in the next couple of months. So stay tuned. And so before I sign off this week, I did want to share a piece of poetry that fits in with one of the lectionary readings for this Sunday. One of the lectionary readings for this Sunday comes from Matthew 14. It's the section where Jesus puts the disciples in the boat, sends them off, and a storm develops. And Jesus walks to the boat on the water, and Peter gets out of the boat, begins to walk to Jesus, takes his eyes off Jesus and begins to flounder. And he is saved by Jesus, who reaches out his hand to pull him up, bring him to safety. So this piece of poetry is called Blessing on the Waves. And I want you to hear this poetry with the message coming from God's own Holy Spirit, who speaks wisdom and truth and peace and love to our hearts. So may we receive that. Blessing on the waves. I cannot promise that this blessing will keep you afloat, as if by lashing these words to your arms, your ankles, you could stop yourself from going under. The most this blessing can do, perhaps, is to stand beside you in the boat, place its hand in the small of your back, and push. Be assured that though this blessing is eager to set you in motion, it will not leave you forsaken, will not compel you to leap where it has not already stepped out. These words will go with you across the waves. These words will accompany you across the waters. And if you find yourself flailing, this blessing will breathe itself into you, will breathe itself through you, until you are borne up by the hands that reach toward you, the voice that calls your name. And this is a piece of poetry that was written by Jan Richardson. I got it from her website, The Painted Prayer Book, Word, Image, Faith. So she's an artist and poet. And I leave these words with you today. And may we continue to seek God's guidance. We know we have God's blessing. And I hope that the remainder of the week will be a good one for you. I look forward to joining you in worship this Sunday.